Welcome back. Here's the last segment. New York State politics and the revenge of the Democrats. Last fall, State Senator Pedro Espada created all sorts of havoc with also State Senator Montserrat and shifted the balance of power from the Democrats to the Republicans.
Briefly.
Well, briefly, what have you, we're still trying to sort that out. Which meant the deposing of the black state Senate leader, Malcolm Smith.
Yes.
Okay. Montserrat, who was found guilty of beating up his girlfriend, it was a misdemeanor, was thrown out of the Senate, and a special re-election, he's been replaced. Pedro Espada is now being investigated by the once and future governor, who's now the Attorney General, Andrew Cuomo. Okay? And the Democrats are now getting their revenge.
Just a correction there.
Yes?
Cuomo was not the once governor. His father was.
No. The once and future governor. He's going. They're looking for him to be governor. That's what I meant in that.
That's what I'm saying. His father was.
Yeah. Well, be that as it may.
Okay.
But Senator Espada is saying basically this is a witch hunt. Okay. Now, I'm also glad to see Mr. Espada go. Yeah. About time. It's about time.
Okay. Well, first of all, Mr. Espada, I mean, in some ways I applaud him. In some ways, I think he's an idiot. Because to think that there were going to be no ramifications for what he did by disrupting the Democratic Party, either you're an idiot or you're a fool, and you can take your pick. Because he seems to be out a little bit of both. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to applaud Pedro Espada for sticking up for himself. Pedro Espada will not go quietly, and this will be a very entertaining time in New York State politics. They're not going to get a budget done no matter what.
They never do. They never do.
But it will be fun to watch every other politician squirm, because if you think Pedro Espada has dirt on him and it's not going to come out over the next few months, I think you have another thing coming to you. So you might see the downfall, you will see the downfall of Pedro Espada.
Rightfully so.
You may see the downfall of Andrew Cuomo, because I can tell from his early comments, Pedro Espada is going to make this a referendum on race. Though he was very instrumental in deposing the African American style speaker, and I heard him say on a Fox 5 news show that it's going to be, this is a how they treat black and Hispanic politicians in New York, and it's the same old. While he himself was manipulated by a Caucasian to get rid of the African American Smith, but that's another story.
But wait a minute, where does he get off on this? I mean, come on, man. I live in the Bronx, and it's been an open joke about Pedro Espada. First of all, his district is in the South Bronx, but he lives in upstate New York.
Well, we don't know that.
No, we do know that.
He has a home. He has a home. Just wait. Just like I guarantee you, other New York City politicians that supposedly live in their districts have homes somewhere else. So if you want to make it a residency thing, then you have to pull out everybody's ticket on having an apartment in Harlem and having a home in somewhere in Westchester County, because I'll guarantee you 75% of them do. And which one do they
At least they haven't gotten caught?
Well, let's just see, is it something because they didn't get caught, or that they're doing it? Because there's a problem if you're doing it, if you're going to persecute somebody, and that's what you're doing, you're going to persecute somebody for somebody else for doing it.
But you know what Richard Nixon had to say about that? It ain't illegal unless you're caught. So he's the only guy who got caught.
Well, we shouldn't quote Richard Nixon on ethics. That's another story. But Pedro Espada has done some goodness in the Bronx as well. He has a clinic that services the residents of the Bronx, which, from the medical standpoint, has been neglected by New York for some time. So there's a plus and minus. If that clinic closes, how many people are going to be affected that can't get affordable health care in this day and age? So he made $17 million, I think they said. He stole, and it was funny to hear his explanation on how stealing means it went into his pocket. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he is somewhere between a cross of an idiot and a fool. And he did not address specifically about the sushi, the $40,000 the sushi.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that.
He actually tried to duck that. And I have to give Roseanne Scotto credit because she followed up a couple of times. He still didn't answer the question. But like I said, it's going to be very entertaining to watch, because he gives me the impression that he's a person that won't hesitate to throw anybody else under the bus. So if you have some dirt and you're sitting in the New York State Legislature and Pedro Espada knows it, guarantee New York Times.
All right, see, but now that puts Andrew Cuomo in a very unenviable position.
Yes, it does.
Because now he's got to get this guy. Okay, I mean, Pedro Espada has been an open secret in the South Bronx, but now he doesn't come up with a conviction.
Well,
which should be
you know what?
right.
But there should
if he doesn't come up with a conviction, he looks ineffective.
Wait. But here's two issues. He does, Angelo. He can come up with an ineffective already. He has been the Attorney General for 4 years now,
Yes.
and this has been going on, like you said, for years. And you're just now either finding evidence or choosing to prosecute. I want to know when your investigation started. That's one.
Okay.
2, how long has your investigation been going on? And 3, how long have you known this been going on? And why did you, just like with the SEC releasing the thing about the Goldman Sachs that helps, which I don't have a problem with, but why are you timing it now as such that you can hurt him politically if you knew about this before?
See, but then again, it doesn't even come only down to Cuomo. Cuomo, he's just one target. The FBI grabbed some evidence also.
No,
so he's going to have a hard time with the feds also.
The FBI only grabbed evidence behind someone else leaking to them. We know
regardless of how it gets there.
Police and FBI only get stories and get cases because somebody told. Okay?
Well,
but the bottom line is that Cuomo, to me, can be looked at as being an ineffective Attorney General because, like you said, this has been an open secret in the Bronx, not for a month, 2. This has been for decades. That health clinic has been open up for at least the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And he didn't just start siphoning off $14 million 2 months ago.
Yeah, but now here's why I have a problem with politicians like Espada. It also puts communities at a bad light. And this is what I'm saying. This is the downside of identity politics. The councilman in my district, the Larry Seabrook, he was the first elected official from this district, black elected official from this district.
Okay.
And it's turned out he's under a 56-count indictment as a city councilman.
Well,
and this is nothing new either.
But like I say, sometimes you have to remember, 1, an indictment doesn't mean a conviction. That's 1. And 2, a DA can indict, from what it is saying, a DA can indict a ham sandwich. Okay? Now, and you also have to look at why things are done, when they're done, and who's doing them. Because there are political ramifications and political agendas on everyone. Because I assure you, there's not any politician that I know of whose hands are totally clean. It's when other people choose that, you know what, it's time to dirty you up publicly. So the bottom line is that, I am going to bottom line this one. The bottom line is, I find it almost hilarious that any politician can really hold another politician up to light. Because if you look at, I'm sure if you look in their offices, there's mismanagement, there's misuse, and there's waste. Because that's where our budgets go out of whack at, is how much money has been spent on these government, their officials, and their staffs, as opposed to how many services get delivered to the people.
All right, so but be that as it may, again, it goes to what I'm saying about identity politics. Pedro Espada is in office, okay, primarily because he has the Hispanic vote in that district. And they continuously vote him back into office because he's the only person that he gets identified with. Just like Seabrook in my district, and sometimes other ethnic politicians in the district. Now, we know that all politics is local. But when are people in the district going to start holding the local politicians responsible for what's going on there? I'll take a name. Charles Rangel in Harlem. Okay? Now, he's been in office for over 35 years.
It'd be funny to see how Charles Rangel runs, because in his last 2 elections, he ran on the fact that his experience and his longevity was going to make him such a powerful leader of the Ways and Means Committee, which he recently gave up.
Yeah.
So now, you're just like a rookie.
Nobody with any seniority.
Yeah, so you might as well now, so we need to put somebody else in. But Adam Clayton Powell Jr. IV is not the answer. But that's another story. But listen, the bottom line, you're right, that it's name politics, but people have to get involved. 1, that's 2. There have to be campaign finance reform, because there are probably good people who can run, but these individuals have the money. They can put out the flyers. They can get out the organization, and they're going to get people out to vote. 99 times out of 100, the person who wins the election is not the most qualified or the best candidate. And until there is real campaign finance reform, that's always going to happen, unfortunately.
Good luck on that one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this will end another edition of America Speaks, and we want to thank you for watching our channel. We hope to hear feedback from you. Until next time, this is Angelo and Gary to my right. We'll see you next on America Speaks. Till then.